everyone's favorite, Pirate. But did you know that he worked at Blizzard for 7 years software, who is definitely not a Nepo baby, and previously was homeless and lived from his car? Yes, his stories do get wilder over time, and I do not believe a single word he says nowadays. Pirate Software's career in either way is completely gone. There is no recovery. This guy, at this point, has not lost 99% of his audience. He has lost actually more than 99.9% of his audience. This is a historically massive downfall. It is crazy. And the memes don't stop there. I mean, look at him. Look at this. This is his YouTube channel. Honestly, Pirate Software should be paying me for promoting him at this point, because even me making a video about him is probably the most amount of followers he's gonna gain in the last 3 months. And I'm not even kidding about that. We're gonna look at some numbers that are gonna make your jaws drop. Okay? But first, his YouTube channel. Completely dead and abandoned at this point. Look at this. 13 days ago, 14k views. 1 month ago, 33k views. 13k views, 33. Ooh, 33. 4 months ago, when all of this was happening and people were hate watching him, 254, 371k views. And before that, before the hate watching, this guy was making 1 million views on a couple of his videos. It was actually pretty normal for him to get that, but now he has seemingly deleted a lot of videos, which we're going to see in the social blades. But if you think this is absolutely devastation already, you know, if there has ever been a sign from God to pack it up and just leave, this should be it. But no, it gets worse. Pirate Software Shorts. He became popular because of shorts. At least that's the story he says. I personally think that it was just Night Media that made him popular. Night Media is responsible for a lot of people coming out of nowhere, strange as it is. And Pirate Software was one of those people. Look at him. The shorts that got him famous. 27k views, 72, 80, 70, blah, blah, blah. And this is Diabolical. You know why? Because I think this is botted. Not this bot, but if you look a little bit back, then you see these 40, 70k views on a short, and then you scroll back a little bit more, and suddenly, it actually gets pretty big. It gets to 200k, and then it gets to 1 million. This guy, by the way, used to literally get multiple million views a short. And now, here is a small moment where he actually got those millions of views, and now his views are at 50k. That's strange, because these multiple millions of views are during his downfall, by the way. This is when people stopped even hate watching him. But for some reason, his shorts actually were pumping out extremely good numbers here, okay? And it's not only because of Dune coming out, it's also other stuff, which is highly suspicious, I would say. I personally, if you ask my opinion, I would call this botting. I think that this is most likely botting, a desperate attempt to stay relevant, because Pirate Software has done a lot to try and clear his name. From making videos where he flat out lies about the stuff that happened, and then people like me just laughing about the stuff because we know all the Pirate Software lore and how he's lying about what. It's some diabolical stuff right here, boys. Literally, the male Alana Pierce right here in the flesh. And his current shorts are just so unbelievable. What's the deal with the camera? And some lighting, it just does not want to focus. And his shorts are just diabolical, boys. Look at this.
Whenever somebody says something is an acquired taste, they're just saying it tastes like shit with extra steps. Like, they want you to suffer with them. If it's an acquired taste, that means it's so bad that you had to keep eating it till it wasn't bad anymore. You just got used to it. You want someone else to trauma bond with you over your shitty meal.
Yeah. And I'm not cherry picking the worst shorts that he's making now. I'm cherry picking the best ones. Yes, I'm actually cherry picking the probably shorts that make the most sense and are not the worst. Yes, this is literally the best he can do. It is insanity. Like every short he has is some kind of stupid thing that he hopes, seemingly, that it's just gonna go viral and then his career is gonna get back on track.
Me and two other friends are working on a project in our
Oh, and by the way, he's still giving his life advice on literally everything that he has no experience in.
free time.
Cool.
We recently caught the eye of an investor and we're about to secure funding that would keep us working full-time for almost 2 years, which is kind of scary. Do you have any advice?
Yes, this is one that a lot of people don't think of because they're friends. You need to have contracts, you need to know what you own. That is an important thing. You need to have agreements on paper as you go forward with this. Otherwise, friends in business become no business and no friends.
Now, the start of this wasn't even that bad. It's smart to have things on paper, but after that, he, hey, a broken clock is right 2 times a day, or as they say. But this one, you should have stopped yapping there and stopped making up bullshit. I mean, he hit the first part at least. But the second, listen, I'll tell you what's real, okay? It doesn't matter if it takes a month, 2 months, a year, or even 5 years. But if you go into business with friends, at the end of the day, you're not going to be friends. That's just the rule of the law. I have never heard of a situation where people who go into business, and it's not some kind of thing that's successful for 20 years straight, and those people are working with each other constantly, where there has been a story of people still being friends. No, it's a business relationship, okay? Friendship stops when you go into business with someone, okay? The moment money is involved in general, friendship stops. So, that's it. And yes, he continues to try and sprinkle in these random pearls of pirate software wisdom, okay? And again, this was probably the best one he had, okay? I'm cherry picking the good stuff. Want me to cherry pick the bad stuff? Well, here it fucking is, by the way, because I got you covered.
A disturbing trend in Pokemon. I'll show you an example. There's a Pokemon named Fido that freaks me out. It's made out of bread. There's another one called Vanillite. Now, understand something about biology and animals. The only time an animal looks like something you want to eat is when it's a parasite, and part of its life cycle requires it to be eaten. And they usually cater their look to a specific species of animal that likes to eat that thing. These look like foods that people like to eat. Those are parasites that use humans to replicate. There's no way around that, dude. Yeah, Applin's the same. That's a parasite.
Yeah. Just in case you didn't figure out, I have never heard of a parasite that masquerades as something that something wants to eat, okay? Parasites don't do that. Parasites just don't magically become looking like fucking apples. Okay? There are some predators that mimic the look of food to attract certain type of prey, yes. But no parasite is out there crawling into a fucking ball that looks like an apple so someone eats it. Human or animal. Humans are animals, but you get the point. So, he just completely made that up. Yes, he's just completely still making shit up to sound smart. It's absolutely crazy. How do you not know this? Like, it does take a little bit to actually think, wait a minute, do I know of a single parasite that tries to mimic itself to be eaten like that? No. There are parasites that, again, go into the food and whatnot, but typically parasites don't do that, okay? The closest scenario you have is some parasites go into the water and then you just wait until a fish randomly eats it. That's the closest you actually have to this. And his implications here are, by the way, that they mimic something that you want to eat, so you're actively eating, thus killing the parasite, because parasites just want to be eaten, but actually not eaten with the teeth. They just want to be swallowed to get into the body, because they can survive the stomach. That's what parasites want to do. This guy is just completely making fake stuff up. It's crazy. But again, The most craziest part is when you go to Social Blade and you look at how Pirate Software is doing, okay? Because this shit is diabolical to its maximum, okay? Remember this? Yeah, you probably remember it slightly. Because we did this like 2 months ago. Pirate Software is still losing roughly 30k subscribers on every platform a month. It's been months. It's been literally months, and look at this. This is the graph, okay? This was the first fall off, then this was when everyone was clowning on it, and this is now what's happening now here. It is insane. Pirate Software is keeping losing subscribers for this long. It is insane. His views, his average monthly viewership, look at this. You can barely see it. And this is September and October. So, you know, now it's November, by the way, if you did not know. So these are full graphs. Pirate Software did delete some videos here. This is how the negative curve here appears. But this is not deleted. This is not deleted stuff. This is just how much Pirate Software nowadays, even with shorts, is capable to garnish an audience. It's non-existent. Like this guy, look at this. 3 million. From an all-time high of, well, no, let's not use the all-time high. Let's use just something like this. For example, let's just say, I don't know, 140 million. You know what's, this is a less, his audience, he has lost, no, let's say how much he has retained. Pirate Software has retained roughly 0.05% of his audience. And I'm rounding up, actually, it's 0.04% of his audience. This guy has not lost everything. He has lost everything that he didn't even know he had. It is insane. Look, there's gonna probably be some Pirate Software simps doing the classical comments of, oh, why are you bringing this up? This is in the past. Or, oh, but his Twitch is actually still working. Is it? Is it? Look at this. This is his daily views. He's at best getting 3k daily views with still losing roughly 1k followers a goddamn day. And he's streaming for 12 hours. 12 hours! That is insane! Absolutely insane. Look at this. This was him previously. Okay? He was previously averaging, 10k. Okay, at least here it's only an 80% drop in viewership. Roughly. Roughly. Depends on where you look at the graph. But, this is like an 85, 80-ish% of drop in viewership, and this is where all the problems started. And this guy, by the way, look at what he's playing. He's playing all of the popular stuff. Arc Raiders, Ball Pit, Silk Song, Hades. He is farming everything that's currently popular. He is trying so desperately to stay relevant. Oh my god, this guy has lost everything. This is the Social Blade Twitch tracker. We can see it again. Literally, every day he's losing almost 1k followers, sometimes more, sometimes less. The average for a week, 4k. Average in the last 30 days, 22k. Average for the last 4 days. This is his Twitch, by the way, followers. Same deal. Pirate Software has legitimately lost more than 99.9% of everything that he had. You love to see it. I personally love to see it. Couldn't have happened to a better guy, honestly. At the end of the day, I hope Pirate Software gets nothing that he wanted but everything he asked. Or however he said about just stop killing games. Don't remember, but it's hilarious. In any case, yeah, that's it. This is a generational disaster. This is the Concord of streamers, honestly. Nothing comes even close to the absolute fall off that this is. Thanks for watching. Bye.